Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket treading, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the fray, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, gave way for the land of the brave, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching MaxSpeedTV.
Let's go. I was born to kill it. I was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flames. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich or die trying, want me switch lanes. I'm always getting better, I'ma be on fifth place. On this one, then fourth for the next. Third, second, first, you pull for the best. She showing love, give me all the raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. going hard, I won't stop till I'm done. From the bottom to the top, I'm the one. I can drop in a month, I'll be back at the top. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Off from blow the house down. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Off from blow the house down. Yeah, we blow the house down. Yeah, we blow the house down. Big moves will shake the ground. All the greats who came before us, we about to make them proud. We've got to make this count. Take the ball and raise it now. Make noise so crazy loud. It's all moment, let me hear you shout. Don't give up, we can turn it round. We got the fire, we burn it down. Then we'll pop champagne at the back of the club. Then we're back with a sweat, tears back with a blood. How to get it out of mud, kinda like Predator. Get to the chopper, pockets getting fatter, so she call me Big Mama. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Off from blow the house down. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Off from blow the house down. Raw energy.
Welcome, race fans. Saturday night OP Buttkickers Unlimited Series right here from 08 Daytona, Bumpy Road, Daytona, the worst track in our racing, whatever you want to call it. These guys are going to be out here tonight. Well, welcome everybody to MaxSpeedTV. Steve Lane up in the booth as usual. The Bill Delaney Memorial 250. Sponsored by Mark. Man, don't have a lot of information on Mr. Delaney, but nonetheless, this will be the memorial race for him tonight. Excuse me. Well, guys, we're going to jump right into our points while we're thinking about it. Looking at our current standings. Whoa. Hang on a second. That is awful big on the points. Don't have everybody in there, but we're going to do a little bit of live editing. I didn't have this done prior to the race. I actually forgot about it, but we're going to go ahead and get you guys squared away here tonight. There we go. Now it's a little bit more legible. English, 2 wins on the season. Vicente Guerrero with the win, as well as Lynn McNeese, Andy Brigante, and that is Everett Lane. I want to say we may be a little off on the points because let me check something here real quick, folks. Give me just 1 second. I think we have a little bit of mix-up. They didn't update the board. But that is pretty much correct, except for last week. The newcomer, the 849 of Andrew Stacy, coming in his first OP race and a win. So big shout out and congratulations to Andrew Stacy. Stephen Miles in second, Gabe Butler third. Joshua Adams came in fourth last week. But looking through the rest of the field, you can kind of see where the cutoff is. And we're going to hold off on getting to that because, well, that's not quite what happened. So, yeah, there was some issues there, folks, but that's okay. We got the gist of things. But we're going to go ahead and look at our pre-race analytics here. 1 mile an hour wind, 72 degrees. air temperature, overcast with a 97-degree track temperature. So it's going to be a relatively mild night tonight. Good racing conditions here. Of course, I do not like this track. This is my worst track ever. But do appreciate everybody tuning in. But we are going to go ahead and talk to our race sponsor. Let me see how much time we have left. Go ahead and refresh my SDK here. Because it is not wanting to work on my horizontal ticker for some reason. But we're going to go ahead and get our race sponsor up here into the booth. Mr. Mark Mann. Oh, I moved him into the... Hey, Mark.
Yo.
I was in the wrong room.
All right.
Hey, just wanted to bring you up here. I didn't get a lot of information about the race tonight, but it is the Bill Delaney Memorial 250. I did notice that he was a Navy veteran.
Yes, he was a medic in Vietnam.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, he's a Bronze Star recipient. Well, let me put it this way. He has the Vietnam, the Vietnam campaign medal with a bronze device. That's how you put it. Which means I think you were, because he was in there during the Tet Offensive as well.
Mm-hmm.
He was there for like a couple of years, dude.
Well,
but he was also a photographer for Look magazine after his military.
Wow.
Yeah. And then was a photographer and real estate salesman and this and that.
Well, we didn't get a lot of information. Like I said, just wanted to bring you up here. Obviously it was somebody you knew and you were wanting to memorialize him tonight. But I think you could have picked a better track than 08 Daytona, dude.
I know. Oh, we're live, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Oh, my gosh. You got me live. I didn't know it this entire time, man. I did not know this entire time. Yeah. Sorry.
That's
and
all
his
right.
family's probably watching, and here I am blabbing on. Now, Bill, but I might as well keep it going in the same tone. But no, Bill was a super nice guy and taught me 10 cara fishing, which I wasn't really interested in fishing. And then I met Bill, which is Mara's dad, Mara's father.
Okay.
And sort of turned me on and her to 10 cara fishing. So I started liking fishing again. And, the photography aspect of it, he was a very talented photographer and very talented real estate development. And he was an all-around great guy, man.
Well,
Great family man.
It's always nice. And, of course, Mara's out there, dedicating, saying thank you for dedicating this race to her dad and that he loved you, Mark. So, well, buddy, appreciate you, everything that you've done. And,
I don't know how much Bill loved me, but he liked me. I was hanging around with his daughter, you know what I mean? And but maybe Bill did. I don't know. Bill was a super nice guy. I didn't know him for that long, several years, but I wish I got to know him a lot better.
Right.
There was a lot of things that I was looking forward to Bill teaching me to do. Didn't get that opportunity, but at least I got to know him for the short period of time that I did, and he made an impact on my life, and that's what kind of guy he was. So yeah, and a small way we can memorialize him is here and memorialize all Vietnam veterans, as it was the 50th anniversary of Vietnam here recently. Bill is actually buried at Saratoga National Cemetery, so pretty cool to go up there and see that. And that's the least our government can do for what he and a lot of others sacrificed.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, looks like you guys are in qualifying. I'm going to let you go, but thanks again. I know Mara is very appreciative of this memorialization. So congratulations. Thank you, buddy. And we will see you soon.
Thanks, bro.
All right. So we heard from Mark, of course, Mara out there in a chat. So Mara, of course, we always try to do something to memorialize, you know, our fallen veterans and our family members. But yeah, I had to agree with Ginger. You know, thanks for sharing your dad with us, and of course, thanks to Mark for bringing this to everybody's attention. But you know, it's well, it never gets easy. It I don't know what to say really. I mean, I lost my dad in 2015, so yeah, I understand. But qualifying is underway. Jimmy Reynolds throwing down the gauntlet right now with a 51-31. That's going to put him in the top spot. Thomas Lockwood coming in second. With the same time, Dwayne Corbett in, well, was he in fourth? Dana Shepherd throwing down a good time of a 51-33. Corbett with a 51-41. Still got Nick Wing out there. Anthony English. Sean Stevens jumped into that top spot by 100th of a second. 51-30. But still some big hitters out there. Gabe Butler. Anthony English putting in a fourth place start. Dusty Burkhart coming in, or coming off of pit road, it looks like. Vicente Guerrero out on the track. James Mayer. Chris Jordan out there as well. But Sean Stevens knocking Jimmy out of that top spot. But like I said, we still got several guys out here qualifying. There's James Mayer with the sixth place time right now. Andy Brigante is out on the track, as well as Gabe Butler, Dusty Burkhart, Vicente Guerrero, and Chris Jordan. So got about a minute and a half left, minute and 20 seconds. Excuse me. You guys have to bear with me. I'm not feeling the greatest tonight. I'm running a little bit of a fever, but we are going to get through this. Brigante throwing down a 8th place qualifying time. Gabe Butler coming through. We're going to see what he does. He is down on the backstretch right now, coming into turns 3 and 4. I do not see Vicente Guerrero throwing down a 51-28. And then Gabe Butler with a 51-29. Looks like Vicente Guerrero is going to be your pole sitter. We've got to see what Chris Jordan puts down here as he comes across the start-finish line. That is good enough for a 9th place start. Vicente Guerrero, though, is going to be your pole sitter, so we'll go ahead and bring Vicente up to the broadcast booth. No Presta Vicente. Man.
Yeah, a whole lot of no Presta.
Hey, it was a lot there, buddy. Congratulations. You got the pole for tonight, man. How's things feeling at the worst track in the world?
It's not feeling too bad. I mean, it's just, it's not too bad. I mean, here, I like this track, the Bumpy Daytona with the B car.
Something's wrong with you, brother.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. That's what they tell me. That's what my wife tells me all the time. Something's wrong with me, but I try to ignore it.
Oh, well, man, you know, you're going to have some stiff competition. You know, we got 25 drivers, a little bit smaller field than what we're used to on a Saturday night. I didn't see the newcomer that won last week in here, but man, you still got a lot to overcome there, bud.
Yeah, so yeah, congrats to that newcomer that won last week. I don't remember if I ran last week. I got a short-term memory, but we'll see if we can get it done tonight.
Well, buddy, we're going to let you go. You guys are gridding up, fixing to roll out, and congratulations on getting that pole tonight. Have a good race, brother. Stay clean, and we will see you later.
Thanks, man. Have a fun broadcast.
Gonna try. We'll get him back down there. He was down there with Stephen Miles. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get our grid up here. In that row number 1 on the inside pole will be Vicente Guerrero. It is outside Gabe Butler. The starting row number 2, Sean Stevens on the inside. Jimmy Reynolds to his outside. Starting row number 3, Thomas Lockwood on the inside to his outside. The 44 of Anthony English. The starting row number 4, the 43 of Dana Shepard to his outside. The 95 of James Mayer. Row number 5, the 78 of Chris Jordan on the inside. Bubba Winningham there in that 10th spot. The starting row number 6, Lily, the 13 of Andy Brigante to his outside is Dusty Burkhart. Row number 7 on the inside, Dwayne Corbett to his outside, Alex Green. Row number 8, Nick Wing in the 049-87 is what shows on his car. To his outside will be Stephen Miles. Row number 9, the 24, is supposed to be the 4, Rick Seabrands. I think Dwayne kind of took that number from him. His outside, though, is Andrew Zonto. Row number 10, Stuart Broderick. On his outside is the 04, tonight's race sponsor, Mark Mann. The starting row number 11 will be the 48 of Andrew Schroeder. His outside, Rick Sanchez. Row number 12 will be the 82 of Dan Harrington. On the inside to his outside is Lynn McNeese. That is going to be... well, there's one more. Doug Johnson. Don't see him. But Doug Johnson is out on the track, folks. So that will be your 25-car field. We will get that off there. Get our horizontal back on as well. But again, guys, appreciate everybody tuning in. Eric W. out there in chat. Hey, Eric, how are you doing? Ginger, Mara, Daniel, and of course Brendan out there as well. Well, the pace car will dive off down to pit road as the Chevrolet green flag in the flagman's hand. The Chevrolet green flag out. Here we go, racing right here at 08 Daytona. We get started off here. These guys are rolling in turns 1 and 2. As we get a view of them coming through 1 and 2 here. Coming out to the back stretch. Here we go. It's side-by-side racing. Ooh, we got one car off down to the apron. Don't know who that was. Might have been Dwayne Corbett as he has fallen back. Vicente Guerrero, still your leader. Gabe Butler to the outside. Jimmy Reynolds there. Sean Stevens as well. Anthony English. And you see the 17 right on the bumper of Gabe as he drops it down in front of Vicente. Dana Shepard back here in 9th. Dusty Burkhart 10th. We got to get back here. Andrew Zonto up on the high side. Nick Wing down low. Stuart Broderick trying to make up some ground. And then we kind of go single file. Rick Sanchez, Dwayne Corbett, Andrew Schroeder, Dan Harrington, Doug Johnson, Rick Seabrands, Lynn McNeese, and Mark Mann. Back up to the front here, though. Gabe Butler, your leader, as they come out of that turn number 4 into the tri-oval. There we go. Get that back up there. Lap 3 of 100, guys. We got 100 laps. Gabe Butler gets loose. That sends Jimmy Reynolds up into the wall. Can they save it? Looks like everything is going to be okay. Great controlled and saved by all those guys. Vicente Guerrero does have the lead with Sean Stevens. Of course, these cars do not bump very well. If you get bumped off center at all, or even just dead center, to me, these cars get really loose. Well, Eric, it's always good to see you, my brother. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Of course, it's good to see all of our viewers that in chat. Ginger Mara, always a pleasure. Of course, Daniel has to be, he says he's watching from work, so y'all don't tell nobody. The 44 of Anthony English jumps to the outside in front of Gabe Butler as they come down the backstretch. .38 of Thomas Lockwood there as well. I don't see a lot of our regulars. I mean, most of these guys are our regulars, but don't see a few of them out there. Stephen Luttrell's not out there. Don't see Mike Edgerton. But we are thankful for the 25 drivers that did show up. Now Anthony English out in front of Vicente. Got Anthony Vicente. That is Sean Stevens, Thomas Lockwood, Dana Shepard. I believe that's Chris Jordan. Jimmy Reynolds down on the inside. Then on the outside, you got Gabe Butler, James Mayer, Bubba Whittingham moving up into sixth place. Dusty Burkhart getting a little bit sideways there, but was able to get it under control. Stephen Miles. That is the 3 of Alex Green. 13 of Andy Pagante and 82 of Dan Harrington on the outside. We come down the backstretch. Gabe getting a good push there by James Mayer. Well, that's going to drop Gabe down to the low line. Anthony English is going to sneak right up to his bumper. You can see them cars just bouncing around here at the 08 Daytona, Bumpy Road Daytona. And I call it the worst track in iRacing. As you can tell, I am not a big fan of this track. Never have been. But we got a caution out here, folks. Not sure what happened, so we're going to take a look here. That takes us back here to Stuart Broderick as he comes up a little bit on Dan Harrington. Well, that's going to get Zonto, Broderick, and Harrington. Sanchez somehow squeaks by, as well as Andrew Schroeder. Well, we are looking at the roof here of Stuart Broderick. He is right there in the middle. Harrington may have come, well, try to force it 3 wide, but they meet in the middle there, and that just gets Dan Harrington loose. Unfortunately, that is the way that it goes sometimes. As we're going to get on a chase view and get an idea as you see, Broderick is running that middle line. Harrington up by the wall. Dan just kind of comes down, trying to stay with the cars. You see Broderick was letting off of it. And that just collected everybody. So That is racing, folks. We come down pit road. Gabe Butler pretty much bringing the whole field down pit road. Gabe Butler going to be your leader. Vicente Guerrero second. Anthony English in third. Stephen Miles fourth. Bubba Winningham in fifth. Alex Green sixth. Jimmy Reynolds seventh. Dana Shepard eighth. Chris Jordan ninth. And Dusty Burkhart rounding out your top 10. Looks like Andrew Stewart and Dan coming off of pit road. Andrew still down on pit road, trying to get as much damage fixed as possible without using that fast repair so early. Again, folks, welcome to MaxSpeedTV. Stephen Lane up in the booth for the Bill Delaney Memorial 250. Sponsored by Mark Mann. We talked to Mark a little bit ago about Bill and everything that he's done, and of course Navy veteran, so we definitely thank him for the service and sacrifice that he made serving in Vietnam. Of course, those Vietnam vets did not get all the respect that they should have gotten when they came back home. So I always make a point as a veteran myself to go up to, if I see somebody wearing a Vietnam hat, I always make it a point to go up to them, shake their hand, and welcome them home. It usually brightens up their day and makes them feel better than what they did when they originally came home. So, well, folks, lights on the pace car are out as we get ready to go back green here. We enter the back stretch. We're going to go ahead and step aside for just a second, but we will be right back. Well, folks, we are back coming into turns 3 and 4. Again, got to playing around with some of the camera angles here. We are on board with Gabe Butler right now. It's green flag, Chevy Lane, green flag back out. We are back racing here at 08 Daytona as Gabe is on that loud pedal. Vicente Guerrero to his outside. Ooh, Anthony English blinking out. Charles Sanchez out there giving a shout out to Bubba, to that number 5, Ricky Bobby. Talking about the number 5 of Rick Sanchez. Now Rick is back here in 16. Bubba Winningham right now falling back to 8. As they come back down through the tri-oval, back to the start finish line. Stephen Miles up front right now with Vicente Guerrero on the inside. Gabe Butler moving down to the inside, as well as Anthony English. Stephen Miles, Alex Green, Dana Shepard moving up to that 6th spot. We are side-by-side racing. Looks like about 7 cars deep. Back here was Dwayne Corbett, and then John Stevens, and then single file with Andrew Schroeder, Rick Sanchez, James Mayer, Lynn McNeese, Nick Wing, Doug Johnson, Mark Mann, Rick Seabrands, Andrew Zonto. Ooh, big move to the outside. Ooh, Stephen Miles wiggling pretty hard there. We're looking at maybe trying to go 3 wide. That is the 13 of Andy Rigante. Ooh, the old 001 of Stuart Broadway up into the wall. Oh, we got caution back out here, folks. We kind of caught that. Thomas Lockwood getting forced down pit road. Nick Wing, I think, got sent down the pit road as well. We'll see if we can take a look here and see what happened. Of course, it's not going to work. There we go. I think that kind of happened up. Oh, right there. That was the first incident. But it's not going to let me see the last crash, so I guess we'll do this the hard way here, folks. As they are coming down pit road, we're just going to rewind this to the caution. We'll get on Gabe Butler here because it happened right up towards the front. Whoa, right there on Vicente Guerrero. Where is Vicente at? As we look here, guys, it's going to be, look like maybe a little bit of net code. Now, Vicente is right there. Anthony blinked out, and then netcode got him loose. So, not much anybody could do on that. That was just all netcode right there, folks. As Vicente Guerrero is down on pit road. Chris Jordan, your leader. Gabe Butler second. Anthony English third. Bubba Whittingham up to fourth. Jimmy Reynolds fifth. Dana Shepard sixth. Dusty Burkhart in seventh. Alice Green in eighth. Rick Sanchez up to ninth. And Andy Brigante rounding out your top 10. Right now, Rick Sanchez is the biggest mover. He is up 13 spots. Now Chris Jordan is going to go ahead and come down pit road. Well, that's going to put Gabe Butler as your leader. Rick Sanchez coming down pit road, as well as that is Sean Stevens, Andrew Schroeder, James Mayer, Rick Seabrands, Mark Mann, Andrew Zonto, Stuart Broderick, Thomas Lockwood, Stephen Miles, Nick Wing. Vicente was able to get the damage fixed, it looks like. Lights on the pace car are out as they come around turns 1 and 2. I think that's where they're at. Well, we may have a special guest come to the booth tonight. I don't know if he's going to make it or not. So we'll see. We get into turns 3 and 4, the cars will go. The pace car will go to the safety of pit road. And we will get back green flag racing. Of course, this is our second caution of the night. Anthony English still blinking out. We see the flagman there, got that Chevy Land green flag in his hand. There goes the pace car down to pit road. Now there is no start zone here, so green flag back out, folks. Here we go. Back on the lap. We are racing here at Lake Daytona. Out to the front by the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, the 88 of Gabe Butler, and the 6 of Bubba Whittingham. Down on that low side with Dana Shepard, Alex Green. And Dwayne Corbett trying to come up behind Alex. But outside, though, that is Anthony English, with Jimmy Reynolds, Dusty Burkhart, Andy Brigante. Bubba is right on the tail of Gabe Butler's. Bubba gets a little bit wiggly. Now Andy Brigante blinking. Here on the roof of Bubba Whittingham right now. This is a great shot. I love this rooftop camera as we see Anthony English dropping down in front of Gabe. As these guys come around 3 and 4 coming through the tri-oval back to that start zone. Start finish line here. Leader Gabe Butler jumping out to the outside, kind of left Anthony hanging out to dry. Here comes the 6 of Bubba Whittingham as he goes up a little high towards Dusty. Gets Dusty a little bit loose there. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow night, Checker Flag Motorsport Speedway Monkeys. Trying to see, they are in the round of 16. They will be in the trucks at Daytona for the second race of the round of 16. Get our ticker back up here, or our tower, I should say. Right now we're watching the battle between Anthony English, Gabe Butler dropping it down in front of Anthony. Bubba Winningham coming up a little bit high into that corner. Bubba goes up to the high side. He is right behind Dusty Burkhardt. Dana Shepard trying to close the gap between him and Anthony English. Andy Brigante still blinking out a little bit, looked like. It's Lynn McNeese moving up. And moving up 15 spots. So he is right now the biggest mover of the night. Jimmy Reynolds drops it down in front of Gabe Butler. That's going to give Jimmy the lead. Bubba Winningham and Dusty Burkhardt on the outside. A lot of side-to-side movement going on. So they go down to turns 1 and 2 in the back stretch. Bubba right on that bumper of the 69 of Dusty Burkhardt. Oh, Bubba getting real snaky there, going out back towards the middle. Guys, we are hitting speeds of about 186 miles an hour in these cars, and of course, you know, the bumps on this track. I don't know what to say. I do not like this track. I do not like this track. But I'm a broadcaster, so right now, we will just call it as we see it. Dusty and Bubba still trying to get caught up with that 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. He does have the 88 of Gabe Butler right behind him, as well as Anthony English. Dana Shepard there in a 6th. Alex Green in 7th. They've been out 10 laps since the last pit stop, I believe. Take a look at the pit strategy here. So 9 laps, so we're probably looking at about 13, maybe 14 laps. On a tank of fuel. Coming through the tri-oval once again. Jimmy Reynolds going to lead another lap. Dusty Burkhardt and Bubba is just not getting anything going on that outside line. Kind of looking back through the field. Dwayne Corbett back here. Then we're single file. Dwayne Corbett, Doug Johnson, Rick Sanchez followed back here in 18th. Andrew Schroeder. Stephen Miles trying to make his way back up towards the front as he drops it down in front of Rick Sebrands, James Mayer, Nick Wing, Mark Mann, and Vicente Guerrero. pass over that start and finish line. Jimmy Reynolds going to lead another lap. So I believe that is probably his 5th lap led. We come down the backstretch though, it's going to be tight here, folks. We're going to probably start seeing some green flag pit stops here in just maybe a few laps. Moose Pie out there. How are you doing, Moose Pie? When you see that box, that's the restart zone, so to speak. There's a couple lines on the track. 12 laps on this stint, so we're going to see if they will start doing some green flag pit stops here pretty soon. Of course, this season, the Saturday night guys decided to go with the Xfinity cars. Looks like we're going to stay out another lap, so that'll be 13 laps on this run. So, well, we're going to see here, folks, if we're going to get some green flag pit stops here pretty soon. That outside line, though, Dusty Burkhart, Bubba Winningham, Andy Brigante, Dan Harrington, Stuart Broderick, Andrew Zonto back here trying to join in, as well as the 27 of Sean Stevens. And then we're single file from Dwayne Corbett all the way back. Oh no, Chris Jordan may have taken his car behind the wall, folks. Dusty had the gap on the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, didn't drop it down to the bottom as Bubba Winningham right on the bumper of the 69. Definitely glad to see everybody tuning in tonight. We are lap 29 of 100. No takers on the pit road at this time, so I haven't seen him tonight, Moose Pie. Ooh, gotta be careful there. Almost got too far to the outside of Burkhart. Talking about Bubba Winningham, if he could do the outside, was trying to push him. But yeah, I haven't seen him tonight, so I don't know if he's tuning in, if he's watching and not chatting, or if he is. I know we had some storms come through last night and early this morning. They were talking about some more coming in, but I don't know for sure. We're going to keep an eye on the leaders right here because we are 16 laps into this run. Chris Jordan is coming off a pit road, so he is still in the race. Not seeing anybody opting to go down pit road just yet. We'll be back here with Zente, try to get around Mark Mann. You can just see those cars bouncing around on this track. Chris Jordan staying down on that apron. Ooh, Stuart Broderick out high to that outside wall. Whoa, we're wrecking here, folks. Wow, Dwayne Corbett, Bubba Winningham, Andrew Schroeder, Sean Stevens, Mark Mann missed it. Nick Ween getting a piece of it as well. Looks like Bubba had a tow to the pits. Well, that all started up here. I want to say it was with Andy Brigante. Stephen Miles right there on. Where is Stephen at? He was right there on the 84 of Lynn McNeese and gave him a tap. Got Lynn down on the apron. And then sent Lynn up high right into the 13 of Andy Brigante into Bubba Winningham. And then carnage. It's the only thing I could say. Stuart Broderick getting a piece of it. Sanchez getting a little piece of it. Dan Harrington, Sean Stevens. Looks like the 95 of James Mayer might have got it into the side of the 14. Well, there's David. We were just asking about you, David. See, we hadn't seen you tonight, but welcome in. Yep, it sure is, Daniel. I have to agree with you there. Well, Andrew Zonto is going to be the first out of pit road. Gabe Butler in second. Jimmy Reynolds third. Anthony English fourth. Dana Shepard in fifth. Stephen Miles sixth. Dusty Burkhart seventh. Alex Green going to come out in eighth. Andrew Schroeder in ninth. Thomas Lockwood 10th. James Merritt 11th. Doug Johnson up 13 in the 12th. Nick Wing in 13th. Vicente Guerrero on pit road. Sean Stevens, Andy Brigante. Well, there goes Mark Mann screaming down pit road. He's going to come out in 14th. So these guys will be trying to get as much, if they have damage, they'll try to get their damage fixed as much as they can. Rudy, good to see you, Rudy. How you been, buddy? Of course, for those that don't know, Rudy is the original MaxSpeedTV OG. Glad to see him tuning in. I'm hopefully living up to the expectations of Rudy and Josh. I mean, these guys Josh took a chance on me. You like those? Yeah, I switched over to SDK and got into a partnership with the guys at Nerditudes, and they they hooked me up and got me something set up, and it's a little bit of training on it. Really like them. It's to me it's just as simple as well, operation wise, it's just as simple as ATVO. Just push a button. But the only bad part is the coding for SDK is way more advanced than what I know. So that's why I have the guys at Nerditudes. They can always help me out, and they've been great. Well, guys, we ain't even halfway through, and we are at lap 36 of 100. Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, English, Dana Shepard, Stephen Miles, Dusty Burkhart, Alex Green, Thomas Lockwood, Dan Harrington, James Mayer rounding out your top 10. Bubba Winningham did get most of his damage fixed. I don't know if he used his fast repair or not. That's the only thing that SDK doesn't have that ATVO does. ATVO allowed me to see the fast repairs if they used them or not, and don't really have that option with SDK. I need to find out if it's even able, or if we're even able to put it in there. So, as well as the black flag. Now ATVO did show us if they got a black flag, meatball flag, or whatever. Well, there goes the pace car making that aggressive move down to the pit road once again. And Chevrolet green flag in the air. And back out, folks. Chevrolet green flag. Here we go. Back on the loud pedal. Going to see if these guys are going to make another long run. Maybe get some green flag pit stops. We'll find out. Gabe Butler getting pushed out to the front by Anthony English and the 8 of Stephen Miles. To the outside, though, Jimmy Reynolds on the outside with Dana Shepard, Dusty Burkhart. I believe that is the 38 of Thomas Lockwood. And the 27 of Sean Stevens. And inside of Sean, though, you have the 82 of Dan Harrington. 95 of James Mayer. Rick Sanchez up 10 spots in the 12th. Doug Johnson in the 13th. Zonto following back there. He took a pit stop in the 14th. Doug Johnson blinked out, I think, and then dropped him back to the back of the field. Got Dana's up here in 4th right now, right on the bumper of the 17. Take a look at this roof shot. We are on board with the 43 of Dana Shepard, giving Jimmy Reynolds a pretty good shot right there, trying to get him pushed up. We watched him come around turns 3 and 4 to the tri-oval. Ooh, big shot there by Dana on Jimmy. We'll go back on board here in just a second. We see, looking out off the gyro cam, we're on board with Dana right now. Ooh, pushing Jimmy up to the front. Want to see how this transpires, to see if Jimmy drops it down in front of Gabe or stays out. Looks like he's going to stay out on that high line. As they come down out of turn number 4 through the tri-oval once again. Gabe Butler moving up to the outside in front of Jimmy Reynolds. That puts Anthony English on the bottom with Stephen Miles, Alex Green, Dan Harrington. Dave Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, Dana Shepard, Dusty Burkhart, Thomas Lockwood, Sean Stevens out on that high side. Take a look back here. Mark Mann, our race sponsor, back here in 20th. He is just back here cruising. Bubba Whittingham right now, he is, I believe he's 2 laps down. Stuart Broderick is 1 lap down. Is the last car on the lead lap. Back up to the front though, Anthony English, Gabe Butler battling it out there for the lead. Now Butler has taken the lead away from Anthony English. He's on that outside line. Now he drops it down to the inside in front of Anthony. David Shepard still right there on that 17 of Reynolds. Back through the field, we're just side by. Oh, Zonto up in the wall. Don't get loose. He's able to save it. That sent Stuart Broderick up there, as well as Bubba Whittingham. Let's take a look and see if Bubba got any more damage on that car. I don't see anything that really would affect him too much. Might have knocked a little toe out of the car, I'm not sure. But he is still maintaining speed, he's still in the draft. That beautiful blue and chrome, I love that color. Get back up here though to the lead. Jimmy Reynolds drops it down. Dana Shepard to the outside. Got Dusty Burkhart and Thomas Lockwood behind him. Dana trying to get a little bit of that side draft to stay up with those guys. Now you got Dusty Burkhart. Did catch up with Dana Shepard right on his bumper. Well, you know, Ginger 3 wide at 08 Daytona is very, very tricky. I mean, there's just no smooth line in the corners to be able to maintain a consistent line. So, I would say we probably won't see 3 wide until maybe later in the race. Everybody is just kind of being patient, which is good. As Dana Shepard, your leader, oh, Jimmy Reynolds trying to push you, gets both of them a little bit out of shape. Dana Shepard is down on that inside. Jimmy Reynolds right behind him. Burkhart, Lockwood, Stevens, and Zonto on the outside. Yeah, I would say we're going to have a pit road wreck before we'll see 3 wide. Dana is trying to find that smoothest line in turns 1 and 2. Stuart Broderick is bouncing off the wall behind him. Ooh, Thomas Lockwood up to the wall. That's going to check up that outside line a little bit, but good recovery. Good reflexes on that outside line. Keep from having a big one there. Good night, David. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Glad you tuned in for a little bit. I hope you stay safe. I know, like I said, we had some storms blow through here in Oklahoma last night, early this morning, but I know there was some more brewing, so if you're out chasing those things, man, please be safe. Dana Shepherd, your leader, though. Jimmy Reynolds right behind him. Gabe Butler, Anthony English, Stephen Miles on that inside line with Alex Green. And then on the outside, you got Dustin Bernhardt, Thomas Lockwood, 27 is Sean Stevens, the 06 of Zonto, 78 of Chris Jordan, Bubba Winningham, and Dwayne Corbett on that outside line. Jimmy looked to be maybe going to peek out in front of Dusty, but ended up staying down low. Sorry, folks. Like I said, I'm not feeling the greatest tonight. Gym run, like I said, I was running a little bit of a fever, low grade. I was fishing this morning, and it got pretty hot when the clouds finally moved out, and I kind of overdid it. But I was able to get a little bit of fish to put in my freezer, so. Good battle up there. Dana Shepherd on the inside, Dusty Burkhart to the outside. Side by side racing about 6 or 7 rows deep here. Dusty or Dana getting a good run about mid-corner and then out of the corner on the exit. Watching here, this is going to be a battle. Lap 48 out of 100. Almost halfway through the race here at 08 Daytona. The Bill Delaney Memorial 250, sponsored by Mark Mann. Dusty dropped down. Don't think he was quite clear enough. Ended up going back to that high side. Dana Shepherd getting a good run about mid-corner. Of course, that outside line is losing some momentum. Oh, there was a push there by Jimmy Reynolds. It got Dana a little sideways, but Dusty is going to drop it down into that low line in front of Shepherd. We come out of turns 3 and 4, getting ready to come to the tri-oval. Been out here about 14 or 15 laps. Probably start seeing these guys. Thomas Lockwood getting pushed down low on the apron by Dustin Burkhart. That's going to cause a big check. Dana Shepherd falling back. Zonto dropping it down. Ooh, easy, fellas. There's been a lot of give and take, but there's not much going on right now. 38 to 27. Andrew Zonto, Chris Jordan, Bubba Winningham on that outside. John Stevens, Thomas Lockwood, Dusty Burkhart down on the low line with Dana Shepherd, Jimmy Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Anthony English, Alex Green, and then on the outside though, Zonto. Then we got 2 lap down cars of the 78 of Chris Jordan, the 6 of Bubba Winningham back there, and then Stephen Miles was still on the lead laps. Well, I see a lot of cars going single file. That's just seeing Bubba Winningham and Stephen Miles slowing up. Not seeing anybody coming down pit road just yet, but I think it's fixing to happen as we've been out here 16, 17 laps for most cars. Going to try to stretch it as far as they can. I venture to say we're fixing to hit some green flag pit stops here. 38, Thomas Lockwood, Dusty Burkhart, Dana Shepard, all on that inside line. Thomas Lockwood dropping below the apron. Got to be careful. Not dropping down there. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our weather here real quick. Once again, we're at 73 degrees. Winds picked up to 3 miles an hour. Track temperature has increased to 102. So got to be careful about getting down on the apron with the track temperatures rising. That will make it pretty slick. Ooh, Thomas Lockwood with a push on Sean Stevens. Pushing up to that second line. Good job by these drivers to keep the causes up right here. Well, here we go. Green flag pit stops. We're going to see what happens here. That is Sean Stevens, Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds. That looks like Andy Brigante and Dwayne Corbett all coming down pit road. So that's definitely going to spread the field out just a little bit. We'll see what happens here. Come back around. Look here, Zonto's been out here, looks like 18 laps, Lockwood 19 laps, as well as Burkhart and Shepard. If I could get a bigger view. Well, here we go. The second group of cars coming down. Chris Jordan leading this group, 38 of Thomas Lockwood, Dusty Burkhart, Anthony English, Dana Shepard, Rick Sanchez, Stephen Miles, Vicente Guerrero, Alex Green. Everybody's kind of swapping around. Rick Seabrands, Dan Harrington, Lynn McNeese, Doug Johnson. Dwayne Corbett coming off of pit road. Stuart Broderick down pit road. Bubba Winningham and Chris Jordan. Mark Mann is your leader right now. Of course, Mark has been out here 19 laps. Venture say when they come back around, that's going to bring this 3 in of Mark Mann, Andrew Schroeder, and Andrew Zonto down pit road. James Mayer still down on pit road, as well as Stuart Broderick. Here comes Gabe Butler and Jimmy Reynolds. These guys are hooked up. Thomas Lockwood, Sanchez, Anthony English. Good night, Moose Pie. Get you some rest. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Mark Mann, Andrew Schroeder, Andrew Zonto coming off of pit road. Gabe Butler and Jimmy Reynolds making up some ground here. Mark Mann and that 3 are coming off of pit road back to the racing surface. That's going to put Gabe Butler out front, Jimmy Reynolds second, Thomas Lockwood in third, Rick Sanchez moving up to 4th, Anthony English 5th, Stephen Miles 6th, Vicente Guerrero 7th, Dana Shepard back to 8th, Alex Green in 9th, Rich Seabrands 10th, Dan Harrington in 11th. Then we have Mark Mann, Andrew Schroeder, Andrew Zonto, Dusty Burkhart. Dusty is trying to catch up to Zonto. Let's see. Trying to find the right, there we go. Dusty Burkhart just about a second behind Andrew. Then Andy Brigante, Bubba Winningham, they are about 7 seconds behind Dusty. Sean Stevens and Nick Wing, about 4, almost 5 seconds behind Doug. Dwayne Corbett is up towards the front, but I believe he is lap down vehicle. He's got 1 or 2. He's 1 lap down right now. So, but right now, Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds out front. 8 of Stephen Miles, Dwayne Corbett. Won't stay in that draft. Maybe save some fuel as much as he can. A lot of moving side by side here, folks, but we get an overall picture. You can kind of see how the big gap is. 8 seconds between Andrew Zonto and Andy Brigante. We look at Sean Stevens and Nick Ween. We get down through turns. There is our track map coming through out of 4, coming back to the tri-oval to the start-finish line. See them coming up on a lap, a slower car. That is the 24. Nope, not the 24. That is Stuart Broderick. Stuart's going to drop to the apron, though. Let these cars go by. He's not going to get in the way. Of course, Dwayne Corbett is a lap down, but guys, he don't have to give up his spot. Stephen Miles is trying to use Wayne to get up and around Gabe Butler. Gabe's not going to make it easy for him with Jimmy Reynolds down on the inside. Gabe Butler's Alex Green on the outside. Like I said, they're using that 4 of Dwayne Corbett. Now Dwayne is going to drop it down in front of Gabe Butler. Try to use Dwayne to get out in front of Stephen Miles. Like I said, Dwayne does not have to give up that spot. Keep going. He is actually the last car on the lead lap. So he is out here racing just like everybody else. Brigante and this group back here, they are 11 seconds behind Andrew Zonto. That green flag pit stop did spread out the field. We expected that. Well, folks, we got 13 viewers and only 4 likes. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. Of course, if you're new to MaxSpeedTV, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. I'll let you know every time MaxSpeedTV goes live. Back up here on the front, though, that's Dwayne Corbett, the 88 of Gabe Butler. Stephen Miles going way to the outside. I don't know if Stephen is having issues or what. He is dropping way back. Stevens dropped back here behind the 78 of Chris Jordan. Alex Green, though, jumping out to the front. Ooh. Got up here just in time to see that push from James Mayer. Got Alex a little bit loose. Come down the backstretch, though. It's a drag race. Door to door with the 3 of Alex Green and the 4 of Dwayne Corbett. We're kind of looking back through the field. Everybody else is single file. Andrew Zonto on the outside. Zente Guerrero back here at 13th. Dusty Burkhardt and Andrew Schroeder. Then Andy Brigante, Bubba Winningham, Lynn McNeese, Doug Johnson. And then about 8 seconds behind them is Sean Stevens and Nick Wing. Look to see this Mayer. He is, oh, the 3. Alex Green hard pancaked the wall. There's your 3 wide for just a second there, Ginger. James Mayer does drop him down behind the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. I think he was trying to go to the outside, maybe go to see if he could take somebody to go with him. Now that 3 car, James dropping it down behind the 4 of Corbett. Get your leaders up here. Ooh, Jimmy Reynolds hard down to the inside line. Down to the apron, come back on the racing surface. Now we're just straight line here on that inside at Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, Dwayne Corbett, James Mayer, Lockwood, 38, and then the 8 of Stephen Miles. Alex Green going to the outside, got Andrew Zonto and Chris Jordan right there. That's it, accidentally on purpose. Guys, we are lap 68 of 100. Been out here 14 laps to go. Let it go about 19 laps on a tank of fuel, so we'll see how long they stretch this out. Let's go ahead and go off board. We'll take a look at Stephen Miles here. We can see that they are running about 183. Get up to about, ooh, seen 191 for just a second, but I think that was just a glitch. About 187 miles an hour. You see how they're having to work that wheel. All the bumps on this track. I got Stuart Broderick, looked like he was coming down pit road. He has taken his car behind the wall, folks. That's going to end Stewart's night. Get back up on the lead. Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, Stephen Miles, 1, 2, 3. lap 70. We have 31 to go here, folks. Of course, got to give a shout out to all of our admins here on Saturday night. Jimmy, of course, we had to have that saying, and I quote Jimmy Reynolds on this, without you, there's no us. So big shout out to Jimmy, Anthony, all the admins here at OP. Of course, our race sponsor, Mark Mann, for sponsoring the race out the Memorial 250. And, of course, big shout out to Mara. That was Mara's dad. So, like Ginger and everybody said, you know, thanks for sharing your dad with us. And, you know, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to broadcast this race tonight. I didn't know for sure if I was going to broadcast. Like I said, I wasn't feeling real good and running a little fever. But Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds coming down pit road with Wayne Corbett. That's going to put Mark Mann as your leader. Anthony English in second, Stephen Miles in third. They got lap traffic around them. Of course, big shout out to Buttkicker for sponsoring the league. Of course, the winner, the season champion, will get a Buttkicker haptic system for their simulator. We got other cars coming down pit road. That is Andy Brigante, Lynn McNeese, Doug Johnson, Sean Stevens, and Bubba Winningham. We come back through the tri-oval, though. Mark Mann still your leader. Anthony English right behind him. Here comes some cars off of pit road. That was Lynn McNeese, Doug Johnson, Andy Brigante, Sean Stevens, Bubba Winningham still down on pit road. We're going to keep an eye up here on the leader because it is single file. Looks like Nick Wing is down pit road now. Coming down pit road, so here we go. There goes the 8 of Stephen Miles. Dana Shepard, Vicente Guerrero, Chris Jordan. Chris catches a little bit of the infield grass there. Mark Mann and crew coming around turn number 2 down to the back stretch. Going to see if they're going to hit this time or not. Vicente Guerrero, Dana Shepard, Stephen Miles. Again, there, Bubba Winningham coming off of pit road as well. So as we come into turns 3 and 4, come out of turn 4, there goes Mark Mann, Anthony English, Rick Sanchez, James Mayer, Andrew Zonto, Andrew Schroeder. Ooh, thought we were going to have a little bit. Dusty Burkhart, Thomas Lockwood, Alex Green, Dan Harrington, all coming down pit road. Ooh, Schroeder blowing through his pit box. Mark Mann, good clean pit stop by Mark Mann. Rick Seabrand's right there with him. Rick Sanchez as well. Mayer's a lap down, Corbett's a lap down, Winningham 4 laps, Chris Jordan 5. And we have lost one driver tonight. Stuart Brother has taken his car behind the wall. But we're going to look right here, though, guys, because here comes Gabe Butler. They are already up to speed. That's Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, Dana Shepard, Stephen Miles. Bubba Winningham again laps down, as well as Wayne Corbett. Vicente Guerrero right there with them. Ooh, Mark Mann, he is, there you go, he finally back in line. Sanchez is going to be your leader, though. Mark Man right there in second. Seabrand's third. Anthony English fourth. About a half a second behind him is Gabe Butler and crew. They're trying to stay in that draft, trying to get that draft to get caught up, and then going to probably try to swing it to the outside to get around that other group. There they go. That is Gabe Butler and Jimmy Reynolds. Dana Shepard right there with them. He is opting to stay on that low line behind Anthony English. Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds getting a good run on that outside. Sanchez looking to go to the outside with them, but Bubba's closing that door. They're going to opt to stay down on that low line. On the outside is Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, Bubba Whittingham, and Dwayne Corbett. And looking back here, Thomas Lockwood and Chris Jordan going to make something happen on that outside line. Stephen Miles on the inside with Vicente Guerrero, Dusty Barthard. Then, excuse me, about 6 seconds behind that group is the 82 of Dan Harrington, the 48 of Andrew Schroeder, 3 of Alex Green, and the 06 of Zonto. And Lynn McNeese and Doug Johnson back here just kind of hanging out by themselves. Andy Brigante about 10 seconds behind them with Sean Stevens and Nick Wing. We're getting back up to the front though, guys. We are a lap. Oh, we got 23 laps to go. They're winding it down pretty quick. Now they will not have enough. There will be at least one more pit stop. As you can see on the pit strategy there, they've only been out here a couple of laps. Now the question is, how long do you stay out before you go in for fuel? Don't think they could save enough for 22 laps. Excuse me. I just spilled coffee all over me. So I'm trying to wipe coffee off of me. We're coming back to the trioval. James Mayer is a lap down, but actually he is the last car on the lead lap. So he is trying not to go a lap down. He's right there in front of that 5 of Rick Sanchez, Mark Mann right there in third. Rick Sanchez, your leader. Gabe Butler in second. Mann third. Reynolds fourth. Rick Seabreads in fifth. English in sixth. Shepard in seventh. Lockwood in eighth. Miles ninth. Vicente Guerrero rounding out your top 10. We got Dustin Burkhardt. Dan Harrington though is back here falling back. That's going to put Andrew Schroeder in the lead of this group, about 8 seconds behind that lead group. And then you got Lynn McNeese and Douglas Johnson back here, 24 seconds behind Harrington. And then Andy Brigante about 8 seconds behind Doug Johnson and Lynn McNeese, Sean Stevens, Nick Wing with these guys right here. Still battling out up front though. That's Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, 1-2. Rick Sanchez in third, Mark Mann fourth. These guys are getting a run on the straightaway. And just to me, that outside line is still losing momentum. They pick up coming off of the exit of the turn. We are 19 to go, folks. Again, I do not think they will have enough fuel to make it. They some of them been out here 10 laps already. So we'll see. With 19 to go, they will not have enough to make it. I don't care how much they save. I don't think they can save that many laps. There's still 19 laps to go. We've been out here 10 laps already on this fuel stop. We're going to go ahead and look through the field here. That's the car is that last car with this group. 78 Chris Jordan is several laps down, so he is really just kind of hanging in there running his race. He's 5 laps down, so he is not trying to push the issue too much. But about 9 seconds behind that big lead group, though, Andrew Schroeder, Alex Green, Andrew Zonto, and Dan Harrington. Oh, I see pit stops happening. That's Rick Sanchez, Mark Mann. Ooh, Rick sideways, saves it. He might have a black flag there, though. Speeding on pits, we'll see. We'll see if he is going to be held here or not. Ooh, somehow, I don't know how he was able to get that shut down, but no black flag for Sanchez. Mark Mann is the first one of those guys out of pit road. Now we got Gabe Butler in the lead, Jimmy Reynolds in second, Thomas Lockwood third. Here comes Gabe, Jimmy, Lockwood, Guerrero, Miles, Burkhart. Looks like Whittingham coming with these guys. Now Andrew Schroeder, that's going to put him up towards the front. He's been out here 10 laps. They got 16 laps to go. Again, this has definitely spread the field out with these green flag pit stops. As we got Schroeder, Green, Zonto, and Harrington. Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles coming off of pit road. We're going to keep an eye on these guys as they are coming in to turns 3 and 4. See if they're going to make some. Nope, they're going to go ahead and stay out. Bubba Whittingham still down on pit road. Not seeing anybody else. Dana Shepard back here with Lynn McNeese and Doug Johnson. I can't stay on Doug. He is blinking out again. We're going to keep an eye on our leader right here, Andrew Schroeder. They've been out here 11 laps with 15 laps to go. Not seeing anybody else coming down pit road just yet. Looking back here. Anthony English through. They are 22 seconds behind Dan Harrington and Schroeder, but with them needing to have to pit, they'll have to real quick. Back up towards the front though, we're watching these guys. They are bypassing pit road once again. we come to turns 1 and 2. We watch them come into 3 and 4. Kind of keeping an eye on what they're going to do here. As they come down, they're going to stay out once again. Now Gabe Butler, they're battling out back here though. Good position. That's Gabe Butler dropping it down in front of Anthony English. Of course, James Mayer is a lap down car. Watching this battle right here. You see that they are about, they're gaining on them. They're down about 20 seconds now from the last car on this lead group here, which is the 82 of Dan Harrington. So they are definitely making up some time. Gabe Butler, Anthony English, Rick Sanchez, Jimmy Reynolds, Dustin Burkhart down on that inside line. And on the outside, James Mayer, Stephen Miles, as Gabe Butler goes to the outside. Vicente Guerrero, Mark Mann, and Rick Seabrands. Andrew Schroeder and crew. Glenn McNeese, Doug Johnson, Andy Brigante. Ooh, Andy almost to that inside retaining wall. Down pit road, as well as Dwayne Corbett. Bubba Winham still down on pit road as well. As Andrew Schroeder and crew stay out for another lap. Going to see what these guys are going to do here. Andrew Schroeder, Alex Green, Andrew Zonto, Dan Harrington, your top 4 in this group. Then we come back here, Gabe Butler, Anthony English, Rick Sanchez, Stephen Miles, Jimmy Reynolds, Vicente Guerrero, Dusty Burkhart, Mark Mann, and Rick Seabrands. Thomas Lockwood is back here with Dana Shepard. About 11 seconds behind the Seabrands. And Nick Wing, he is trying to catch up with Dana. As Lynn McNeese and Doug Johnson coming off pit road. James Mayer dropping it down. Anthony English did take over the lead with this group as they are trying to get by these guys that come off of pit road. And they decided, Lynn McNeese and Doug Johnson decided to drop it to the apron, give that lead group. Andrew Schroeder, Alex Green, Zonto, and Harrington still out on the track. 17 laps, 9 laps to go. Oh, Nick Wing coming down pit road. Bubba Whittingham still on pit road. Now they've been out here 18 laps. We got 8 laps to go. I don't think that they've got enough fuel. These guys are going to have to pit. Schroeder, Green, Zonto, and Harrington coming down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Will they pit this time? We will see. But Anthony English and that group has closed the gap. About 16 seconds behind. Now here they go. I figured it was going to be time. Andrew Schroeder, Green, Zonto, and Harrington down pit road. Probably going to get just enough fuel to finish the race, with maybe a little bit extra, but Anthony English in that already caught up and passed Green, Zonto, Harrington, and Schroeder. Calculated risk, and it didn't pay off for him. Seven to go here, folks. We are going to start seeing some movement, I'm sure. That's the 5 of Rick Sanchez down on the inside with Jimmy Reynolds, Dustin Bernhardt, Mark Mann, Rick Seabrands, Lynn McNeese right there as well. Jay Butler on that outside line. Anthony drops it down in front of Rick Sanchez. Well, that puts Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles, Vicente Guerrero, James Mayer on that outside line. Anthony English, Seabrands, Reynolds, Burkhart, Mann, and Sanchez, I should say, and then Seabrands behind Mark Mann. There's too many Ricks out here. Six laps to go. We still, it's going to be a dogfight. Ooh, see a lot of wiggling there. Gabe Butler does drop it down in front of Anthony English. Steve Miles, Vicente Guerrero, James Mayer on that outside. Rick Seabrands moving to the outside with Mark Mann. Butler, English, Sanchez, Reynolds. Butler going to that outside. That's going to give the run on that inside line to Anthony English, Sanchez. Now we're looking at 3 wide here, folks. As Seabrands, he goes into the wall. They're dealing with lap traffic, and it is back and forth. Bouncy Road, Daytona. 4 to go, folks. We're keeping an eye on Rick Seabrands because he has taken it 3 wide to the outside of Vicente Guerrero. James Mayer looking to go and push Seabrands out to the front. There goes Mark Mann with them as well. Well, here we go, Ginger. Here's your 3 wide on purpose. You got Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles. Oh, and we're wrecking. That's going to bring out a caution. That is going to change the whole dynamics of the end of this race. Well, let's go back and take a look and see what happened here, folks. That was the 95 of James Mayer going up into that wall. I don't know if it was a bad push or if he got loose himself. As we are on the roof with Mark Mann. Of course, Bumpy Road, Daytona. Oh, a big checkup. A big checkup by James Mayer. Mark Mann, nothing Mark could do. Right into the back of Mayer. That collected Mark, and not sure what that was all about. But that was just a massive checkup. You've seen the flames come out of his exhaust. Mark Mann definitely used his fast repair on that one to get back out on the track quickly. Looked like the 84 of Lynn McNeese was the lucky dog, so he will get his lap back. No, it didn't last very long. Well, again, Bumpy Road Daytona is so hard to maintain a good 3-wide line because there is no smooth spot. You got the bump down low, you got the bump up high, and when guys start bouncing off of those, it is so hard to maintain a good line on this track. Well, folks, this will be GWC attempt number 1. Gabe Butler, Anthony English, Rick Sanchez, Stephen Miles, Rick Seabrandt's top 5. Vicente Guerrero, Jimmy Reynolds, Dusty Burkhart, Thomas Lockwood, Dana Shepard, rounding out your top 10. And we have Andrew Zonto, Dan Harrington, Alex Green, Lynn McNeese, Mark Mann, Doug Johnson. I believe Doug is blinking out. I believe Doug is a lap down, so is Dwayne Corbett, Sean Stevens, Nick Wing, Andrew Schroeder, Andy Brigante is 2 laps down. James Mayer's 2 laps down. Chris Jordan down pit road. Bubba Winningham has taken his car behind the wall. Done for the night. Well, you can tell it is getting close to 4th of July weekends. Fireworks stands are open. I got people all around my house shooting fireworks right now. I can hear them going off, which is okay. I don't mind it. I actually enjoy it. Well, lights on the pace car are out as we are coming down the back stretch here. Get into turns 3 and 4. We come out of turn 4. The pace car will get ready to dive off down to the safety of pit road. GWC attempt number 1. Gabe Butler having a little fun with the pace car. Here we go, Chevy Land green flag in the flagman's hand. Here we go, Chevy Land green flag back out, folks. GWC attempt number 1. The hour 2 to go. Got to make it back around to that white flag. And after that, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Anthony English out front, Gabe Butler second, Rick Sanchez in third, Stephen Miles in 4th. They are nose to tail, side by side, all the way back through the field. Anthony English on the inside with the 5 of Sanchez and the 24 of Seabrands. Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles, Vicente Guerrero on the outside with Dustin Burkhart. We come down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Gonna come out of 3 and 4 to the tri-oval. Hang on to her, fellas. We got to make it to the start-finish line here for the white flag. White flag in the air. Here we go, last lap. As we got cars upside down, that was Jimmy Reynolds. We're going to keep our eye right here, though. Anthony English, Gabe Butler, Rick Sanchez now up into third. I want to go back after this and take a look at that wreck before we get to our top three. But Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles on the outside, Vicente Guerrero on the inside is the 44 of Anthony English, the 5 of Rick Sanchez, and the 24 of Rick Seabrands. We come around 2, 3, and 4. Here we go, folks. Side by side, 3 wide, 4 wide. Seabrands down to the inside. Who's going to get it at the line? Anthony English with the lead. It's going to be Anthony, Rick Sanchez, Stephen Miles, your top 3. Rick Sanchez with that second place finish, but I want to go back here. That was a 17. I want to see this wreck. I seen the 17 up in the air. I want to see what happened here before we get to our top 3. Oh, the 69 come down. 17 up in the air and over. Ooh, I bet that was a heck of a ride. We're going to rewind this here, and we're going to go to our cockpit view here. Guys, if you get motion sickness real easy, don't watch. Massive, massive impact on that, but Anthony English will be your winner. Rick Sanchez in second. Stephen Miles in third. As we get up here so I can get our top 3 up for the post-race interview. Just want to get to the start-finish line here. It wasn't real close. It was closer for the third place position than it was anything else. I want to get to our chase view. And I want to bring this back here. All right, folks. Well, we will get our top 3 up here for the post-race interview in just a second. Hang tight. We will be right back. All right, folks, we have caught up with our top 3. I'm going to get my camera turned around here. And we're going to get on, well, it says Sammy Smith, but it'll be our third place finisher tonight. Let me get this on. And that will be the 8 of Stephen Miles. Stephen, that pilot car was working pretty good for you tonight. You kind of flip-flop places, but man, you made up 13 spots to get that top 3 podium finish. Man, awesome job.
Yeah, man, another consistent top 3. You be there at the end a lot of times. One of them come through, but fortunately, the night for us wasn't the night. Good win for Anthony though, man. He's on a tear this season.
Yeah, he has been. Of course, Vicente was right there with you, man, helping you out. He was in the. I think he was. You two guys was running together, working well together tonight.
Yeah, that's my teammate. Right there towards the end, man, I got Gabe clear twice, man, and he didn't want to take it. He was playing games and trying to trying to keep it wedges between him and Anthony. And I said if I got him clear again, then we was gonna take him three. I mean, can't play games like that. And we got to the third, and if that third car behind Vince would have went with us smoothly, we probably would have made it closer to where it was. But we just made the move to advance our position, and we can't complain about top three at Bumpy Daytona. So
No, definitely not. Of course, like I said, this is the worst track for me. I hate this track. I don't like running this track, and probably never will again. But man, awesome job. Good points night for you tonight. And as far as the season's concerned, it's starting to wrap up. We're getting close to playoffs, and I don't know. Have you got a win on this season yet,
no,
Steven?
I haven't. No.
You're right.
have.
You're right there, but I mean you're right there at the top of the list behind the guys that's won. So just got to keep being consistent and keep getting those points, man, and if nothing else, get you that get you close to that regular season points championship.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many times I've won the regular season championship and have my teammates tell me that doesn't mean nothing. So being consistent and getting that regular season championship, it really don't mean nothing. It's about that playoff and winning when it really counts. So hopefully we'll be able to do it when it comes.
We'll see. Well, Steven, awesome job, buddy. Congratulations. Going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give?
Thank Mark, man, for sponsoring this race, man, for a good cause. Thank Anthony English for running this league, man. Appreciate you doing a heck of a job, doing a hell of a broadcast. Everybody that tuned in and viewed this, appreciate my mom, my dad, my girl, everybody that support me, and most of all, Jesus Christ, man, and that'll be it.
All right, brother. We'll go celebrate, and we will catch you next week, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Well, he moved himself. So, that's going to get us to our second place finisher tonight. That will be this gentleman right here, Mr. Rick Sanchez, or I think Joshua will actually call you Rick Winningham.
I remember that.
Awesome job, Rick. I mean, man, you were actually our biggest mover tonight. Up 20 spots, started back here in 22nd, finishing second. Was kind of playing it safe there for a little while, back of the back with Mark, and then made you just surged up to the front.
Yeah, one of those pit stops, I can't remember which one. I picked up a bunch of spots. It kind of surprised me, but where I came out, and that's what I got most of my spots was pitting, and yeah, it just worked out. And then my job there at the end was push Anthony as hard as I could. I was flashing red at the end, but I said I'm not going to stop. It ain't going to do no good to stop now. So
keep tickling that fan with the toes until it blows, right?
Yeah, he's either going to win it or I'm going to blow up.
Well, on a side note, personal note here, Rick, when we run these more memorial races like that, how important or how does it make you drivers feel to win something like this?
Oh, it's always, something you can put on the little chalk on the board. Hey, I won that one. But yeah, it's always fun, especially if it's for somebody, special or something, occasion like that.
Well, man, awesome job. I'm not going to keep you much longer. You had a good run. Worked with some guys, got you up towards the front. Of course, I know we got a lot of people out there, Belva, Netsby out there in chat, rooting you on. Charles Sanchez, which I'm assuming is
That's
your dad.
that's my brother.
Oh, your
That's
brother.
my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said 2 in a row, but you got the top 3
Yeah, it's
podium.
trying.
So, but awesome job, Rick. Congratulations. Any final thoughts, shout outs, things you want to give before you go celebrate?
Shout out to OP. Always Buttkicker, MaxSpeedTV. Got the great broadcast. Love to go watch them again. Shout out to family for supporting me out there, and shout out to all the drivers putting on a good show for us. Take care. Catch you next time.
All right, brother. We'll go celebrate, Rick. Congratulations. We will see you next week, sir.
All righty. Take care.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, that's going to bring us. He's probably up there talking to himself because he is bad about that. Of course, Mr. Anthony English, who we're talking about, 3 wins on the season now. Anthony, you have been on a tear since you've come back from your surgery, brother. We need to make sure that they didn't put something in that heart to make you drive faster.
No, it's all natural, unfortunately. No super veins or nothing crazy like that.
Well, I think somebody said that they turned you into the bionic man, but man, you have been you've been tearing it up since you come back. But Anthony, it's just, I'm proud of being able to broadcast these races where guys like you have come back from diversity and from sickness and come out and just put on a great show.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie, I thought I was going to be out a little bit longer than what I was. But, when you go through something like this, they tell you to be active. They tell you to do what you can do without overdoing it, So I'm just glad to be able to come back and, thankful that I'm still, able to do it. Like, it's not giving me issues and I've had to restop again or anything like that, So just kind of, thankful that the process is going through its process. Like, I've been feeling a lot better. Every day I feel a lot better. I'm a little hoarse today, so I apologize to everybody listening to me. But yeah, I mean, it's better every day. I'm actually kind of getting back into doing work and stuff like that, trying to relieve my old man, my dad, from doing all my work. Big shout out to him. He's been pretty much doing almost all my business work and stuff for me while I've been going through all this, So it's nice to just kind of just having life kind of go back to like something of normality.
Well, and that's what we all hope for, man. And I know we got a lot of people out there that was really cheering for you and praying for you, buddy. And of course, you and Joshua both having that happen so close together, it just kind of took everybody as a shock. But personally, I'm glad you're doing well. Like all of our fans, we're just glad to see you back out on the track. But enough with that. Let's talk a little bit about the race, man. I mean, you started there up towards the front in 6th spot, and man, you just kind of stayed up front. Some green flag pit stops, kind of spread the field out a little bit. What was the game plan?
Well, I told you before, right, that I changed all my wheel settings when I came back.
Mm-hmm.
So since it's 08 and bumpy tonight, I jacked my force feedback up a little bit. So like the first half of the race, I was just getting a feel back for, I'm not nowhere near where I normally run my force feedback before, but I bumped it up about halfway, and it took me a little bit just getting used to it after running with such low force feedback the last few weeks, or the 4 or 5 weeks I've been back, So it was just chilling out. I just wanted to, get the feeling back for the force feedback, and it felt good. And we ended up, I think tonight's race was pretty great. I mean, we not a lot of cautions, had quite a few green flag runs and stuff there, which is awesome. And I kind of just was staying out of trouble. I think I had a little bit of a blink early in the race that caused Vincent Vincent and a couple guys some damage, so I apologize to them. I didn't see it on my end, but but other than that, I mean, I think it was a good race. It went green for a while there. At the end, Rick was pushing the hell out of me, and I know he was really, really hot before that last caution come out, and that caution I think actually is what saved us, because I think Rick was so hot from pushing that top line, and that third line was going to end up just obliterating us if it stayed green. But we got that caution, and it gave Rick a little bit of a chance to cool the car down, and and he just pushed like hell those last two laps. Like this win goes to Richard for sure, because he didn't let off me. He pushed me hard, and we just had a hell of a run coming out of 4, and he got me the W, and he got second place, which is awesome. So big shout out to Richard for that.
I told Rick, I said, "Yep, tickle that toes with the fan until it blows."
Yeah. I mean, he said he's like I was just starting to get red going in 3.
Yeah, it was getting close. Well,
but he stayed on me though, and it didn't blow. So
yeah, he said he was blinking red as he right there at the end, so it was probably fixing to happen. But yeah, he got you there right there at the end. Well, I want to ask you the same question, Anthony, that I kind of mentioned to Rick, even though he didn't win it. But we had memorial races. We do a lot of those, and you guys, you guys do put on a lot of memorial races as well. As a driver, what does it mean to you as a driver to win one of these memorial races?
Well, if I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody has heard, what tonight is. It's Mark Mann sponsored tonight's race. It's the Bill Delaney Memorial Race, and it's always one of those, like, you don't want to have memorial races, but this is somebody that it means a lot to Mark and stuff like that. So we put on memorial races all the time for people. It's usually not a good thing. It's usually just in remembrance and stuff. But it puts a little perspective into certain things in life. Just being thankful that, like, I'm here racing tonight and was able to win. And so big shout out to Mark, and thoughts and prayers and all that stuff, and all that to his family and all that, and also a big shout out to Bill Delaney himself, if he's watching up yonder, and all that. So
well, all right, Anthony, man, I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us after the race. Awesome job, awesome win. Makes 3 on the season for you, so you're the only one with 3 wins on the season. So, of course, we're off next week, and then I think we come back for, where's my schedule at?
Yes, we are off next week for 4th of July. So
yep. And
everybody have an amazing holiday. And
absolutely.
The following Saturday.
Yeah, so we are at the iRacing Super Speedway on July the 12th. I know you enjoy running that track because you've said that before, and I think that was you had a win at Mike Edgerton won that one. Or no, he sponsored that. But I think you won at the IRSS last time.
I did.
So,
just a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So,
a month ago or whatever it was now.
So I'm sure you probably got something for these guys coming up on July the 12th. But right now, Anthony, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give before you go celebrate, brother?
Oh, a big shout-out to you, Steven, and MaxSpeedTV, everything you guys do. You guys bring us amazing broadcasts week in, week out with Saturday, or not only Saturday, but also with what you do for us on Monday in our Premier League. So, big shout-out to you guys. We love what you do. We're so thankful to have you all on board, and as much as it will be a little bit of a bummer to miss Josh, it's awesome to have you here. You're just as good. You're just as awesome.
I appreciate that.
All the admins and everything they do to put on what they do for all 3 leagues, actually all 4, because we do have that Thursday Gen 4 league that Alex puts on and everything, which is getting ready to start its new season in the new Gen 4. If anybody's interested in it, get a hold of Alex, and he'll get you in the Thursday league. But big shout out to all the admins. Like I said, just everybody that does what they do. It takes a whack of us to get the job done and be as smooth as it can, and it's still not as smooth as it can be. It's tough sometimes. The whole team, all the guys that are running with tonight, Rick, Mark, Jim, Andrew, Richard, Alex, the whole whack of them. We always have a blast on Saturdays, just trying to run around and have a good time. And, it's kind of what makes Saturday so much fun, is just having the group of guys to BS with, joke with and stuff. And it's a little bit different of an environment than Monday, because Monday is so serious. And I think even Wednesday is a little, I treat it a little bit more serious than I do Saturday and stuff. But big shout out to them, especially Richard for the pushing tonight. He definitely pushed me to the win. So I owe him. I think I owe him like two or three now. So I'm gonna have to start paying some of these debts here.
They're going to add up before too long.
Yeah. Yeah. Big shout out to everybody who supported me through what I did go through, who believed in me, who's helped me out when I've been down mentally, physically, and financially, and especially my dad and my fiance Rachel. Just I couldn't have got through most of this without them, and I probably would have lost my business and everything. It wasn't for my father doing what he did. So huge shout out to him. I owe him so much, and everybody else that's helped out. A big shout out to all you guys. Without you, I probably still wouldn't be in my house. So just much obliged to everybody that's done what they've done. And then, my beautiful fiance Rachel, who has taken care of me practically the last, month and a half, and she's like a little, she's like a mama hen now. Now that I'm feeling better and stuff like this, it's like, okay, go do your own thing again. You don't need me no more. trying to get out of it and stuff, but it's understandable. I mean, it was probably a tough thing to go through as a lover of somebody who's going through it. So I can't even imagine, what she went through. So, big shout out to her for her support and everything. And then everybody watching, Mark Mann for sponsoring tonight's race, the Bill Delaney Memorial 250. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think only Buttkicker. Cannot forget Buttkicker. Buttkicker's been awesome. They do a few different things for a few different leagues, and they're an amazing sponsor. And Saturday, I don't think Saturday would be what it would be without them around anymore. So a big shout out to them too.
Well, I'm going to go ahead while you're still here. I want to give a shout out to your fiance Rachel as well, because when you were going through all of this, I was reaching out to her to get updates, and she was always quick to respond. So, I'm thankful that she was there with you as myself and my friend. I'm so glad that you're doing so much better, buddy.
Thank you. Like, I love it. I just am so happy that it's so far so good, because there's always so many complications that can happen. And I think what helped me get through it a little bit easier was the fact that my dad actually went through it last year. Like,
oh wow,
I think it's absolutely crazy that July 4th weekend, the weekend coming up, is when he had his. So we're literally a year anniversary from my dad having the same thing, quadruple bypass last year, and me having to be that bystander that's watching your family member go through it and stuff. And so he was a really big help on a lot of the way that I dealt with getting through it, because I had somebody so close to me that could give me pointers and tell me how it was going to be and what to do to help it and all that. So I mean, it was definitely a lot of help.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Anthony, again, much love and respect, brother. I'm glad you're doing good. But we're going to go ahead and let you go and go celebrate. And, man, we will see you tomorrow night.
Sounds good, Stephen. Thank you very much, man. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it. We will get to our results here as we look at, I didn't think that was green, but it did show up green. OP Buttkicker Unlimited Series. The Bill Delaney 250. Anthony English, your winner. Rick Sanchez in second. Stephen Miles third. Gabe Butler fourth. Vicente Guerrero finishing 5th. Rick Seabrands in 6th. Andrew Zanto 7th. Thomas Lockwood in 8th. Dan Harrington 9th. Lynn McNeese in 10th. Dana Shepard in 11th. Mark Mann 12th. Jimmy Reynolds 13th. Dusty Burkhart 14th. Alex Green 15th. Dwayne Corbett in 16th. Andrew Schroeder 17th. Sean Stevens in 18th. Doug Johnson finishing 19th. Nick Wing 20th. Andy Brigante 21st. James Mayer 22nd. Chris Jordan 23rd. Bubba Winningham 24th. And Stuart Broderick rounding out the 25 car field tonight. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us here tonight on MaxSpeedTV. Don't forget tomorrow night, CFM Speedway Monkeys right here. Round 2 of the round of 16, or race 2 of the round of 16, coming to you at the new Daytona. And then we will be Monday night Premier Series as well. And I'll see where we are at Monday night. And I think we will be, right back here Monday night at Bumpy Road, Daytona. So we will see you guys then. But until then, folks, please enjoy your weekend. Have a safe week. Have a happy 4th of July. We will be off that week, and be safe if you're shooting off fireworks. Be sure you be safe. Have the proper clothing and gear on, and definitely make sure that, that you do it in a safe direction. But until tomorrow night, folks, here at MaxSpeedTV, we will see you then. Please be safe. Have a great weekend, and have a good night.